Okay.
Now, but there was actually 3 captains there.
Now you're now made, right? How did it feel? What's the first thing you did as a made guy?
Got drunk, went home, fell asleep, woke up the next day, went to my classes, whatever school I was at the time, and I go do my business.
So for you, like the button was an accessory, literally. Like you didn't care as much as obviously a lot of other guys did.
Oh.
Yeah, but you didn't care that you were part of maybe a fraternity, that you were untouchable.
No, I cared because I loved them. They were my, you know what I mean? You see how much I love Bobby. Bobby's family to me. You know what I mean? I just wish, some of our other friends looked at it like that. They wouldn't be where they are without them. I hate people who betray their friends.
Business-wise, when you got your stripe, I love you to death. And I it's funny, guys. He's not downplaying it because he just really, this is how he is. Like he's really downplaying it. Not that he think it was a big deal. It's just he just didn't think it was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how Paul is. I'm gonna pull up. So I'm gonna first do questions from the community, and then we'll get the questions in the chat. So I can't see the screen, guys. So just forgive me. So don't write any bad things about me or Paulie yet. All right.
Send it. Tell them send it. I'm ringing the dinner bell. Come and get it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh no, we'll get there. All right. So, okay, who was present at the ceremony? We got that. What were the circumstances for you leaving the life? We don't really know much about that. Why did you leave the life, and what were the circumstances?
When Bobby got arrested, everything fell apart. The supply and the money and everything, everybody was just grabbing for themselves.
Yeah.
So I just kept all the poker machines for myself. Some other wise guys trying to take them away once or twice, but that's another story for another show.
But you were a made guy.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I played a game of Russian roulette in front of 2 of them. And I told them, when you can do that, put the napkin on the gun. I slid it across the table in Rosina's restaurant. I was sitting with Frankie Pizzarella and Tony Antennas, and I think, oh my God, what was his name? Tony Sneakers was there, the old guy. He found I had a shoe store in Winthrop. And they all just looked at me. And Frankie, he grabbed my hand. And the 2 guys got up and walked away. Because I just said, put 1 bullet. Boom. I said, when you do that, come and see me.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because you're a little bit of a wild child, right? But you also were a made guy. And generally made guys, the theory is you're a little more docile, a little more pensive. You think before you act. Were you causing headaches for Bobby and him having sit downs every other week because of you, were you a little crazy but you weren't in trouble?
No. But if you send me to do something, I'm going to do work for you. Tell me to go open up someone's head. I'm going to go open up their head.
That's what you do.
That's it. I used to walk around the corner. I'd go into the hardware store. Oh my God, Sid's, and he had him and his wife ran a little hardware store, and he was also a court officer. And I'd go in there, can I borrow the pipe wrench for a few minutes? I'll pay you when I get back. He'd be like, should I bring you coffee tomorrow? Because he knew something was going to happen. Wow. I'd walk out of my house, stop there, pick something up, and go do what I had to do.
All right. So, okay. So what were the circumstances of you leaving the life, and why did you? So you gave the why, but what was the circumstance? You can't just write a resignation letter. Walk me through it.
I don't. His cousin Ricky was still serving time for dealing with the informant. Sean was away. Bobby Carosa Jr. was away. The whole crew was in disarray. And the people he left in charge, I'm bringing money, I'm dropping it off, and it's not going to where it's supposed to.
Got it.
So I said, screw this. I'm not coming in. I'm keeping the machines for myself, and that's it. We want to pay. Just, no one's getting anything. They're mine.
Wow.
And then he gave me a phone call one day, and he says, Paul, something bad happened. He says, you're going to buy me some time, because we were still talking on the phone. He was at Plymouth, I think. And I says, whatever. He goes, just make sure my family gets out of the house safe. I says, okay. Anything else? He says, no. He goes, then just, make yourself scarce for a while. He goes, shit's going to hit the fan. And
were you allowed to speak to Bobby at the time, or was Bobby still okay publicly?
Yeah.
Wow. So Bobby kind of confided
his
in you.
Family was getting threatened.
No, so he could
before anything. Yeah, before any of the other stuff happened, his family was getting threatened. They were threatening women and children. I don't
get out of here.
Yeah. You seen the Harvard documentary. You heard it right from Terry's mouth. They threatened her not to come in as my witness. They told her they were going to kill her and her daughter.
Was this the Patriarchas or the Philly
family?
Some
of their associates. There's a couple of guys and, a lunatic by the name of Ricky Costa. And that's, that's the way he was.
Jesus.
The story
I heard it, but I never really absorbed it that they went after.
Do you remember when they killed the mother and father at Christmas time and they put the two babies in the room years back? That, yeah. Payuka, the family was.
Yeah.
Bob, they used to call him Bobby Small was his nickname.
Yeah.
But it was really Bobby Payuka. They killed him and his wife, and thank God there was one guy there who knew enough to hide the children because the other maniac would have probably killed them too. And they never found the money. It was under the present under the tree. But those are the type of guys I was dealing with,
Wow.
So,
all right. So what did you do? You skipped to Florida? You hide out in Boston? Like, what did you do?
I never left the alley on Charleston Street.
And you're not kicking, so you're making money, you're not kicking up anybody at this point?
Never in my life.
And nobody's reaching out to you saying, hey, where's my kick?
Nope.
So you're out, essentially.
If they, even before that, even growing up, if they told me, yeah, go meet me over here, and they won't come.
Wow. Okay. So
I had a bad reputation. I was a really, not that I was a mean kid, but I had no off switch. I set my sights and I got my mind set on it. It's game time. And I'm glad I'm not that person today. And I'm still in therapy, and I got a great psychiatrist, and we try to work this stuff out. And he's amazed that I'm in such good shape mentally and physically after everything I've been through.
Well, okay. So now Bobby goes away, right?
Yep.
And then obviously does what he does.
Right.
What's your next move? Didn't you go to Florida or something?
When that happened, I was worried because I didn't know how far down the dominoes were going to fall, shall we say?
Well, let me ask you a blunt question.
Yeah.
And Bobby knows I have the best intentions here. Mm-hmm. Were you worried about Bobby informing on you?
Never.
I'm just asking.
Never even entered my mind. Never even entered my mind. He told me what to do, and I did what he told me to do. And that's the oath I took in that hotel room that night, was to follow him, not to follow guys from 300 miles.
Well, you were respectfully, not a bad thing per se. You were more loyal to Luisi than Cosa Nostra or the Philly crime family.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loyal to the North End.
Got it. So when Bobby does his thing, what do you do then? Do you stick around?
Yeah, before that even happened, like right after the pinch, I got someone to get me a Penske truck, put the gun safe, the Harley, the furniture, everything on the truck, wiped the house down, left the phone on. So if people are calling, they know the phone's still active. Had cleaners come in and re-cleaned the house again after I was gone, and drove that truck all the way to a reservation in Arizona where they can't get you. I was under the protection of tribal law. They had to get a liaison if they wanted me.
But so just so I understand the context, who would have went after you theoretically? Would have been the Patriarchas, could have been
no, Feds. I wasn't worried about those guys.
Oh, so it could have been an associate trying to make a name, could have been a past enemy, it could have been anybody.
Yeah, but I was more worried about the Feds and who else was gonna rat. You know what I mean? Where especially I always